We have been bombarded by Western medicine, right? We have been bombarded by doctors, pharmaceuticals, and into believing actually that healing is outside of me. The healing is outside my power, right? Now, check this out because I'm going to give you some alarming stats that's going to blow your mind. The average doctor visit is 7 minutes. Now, with telehealth, it's probably even less, okay? The average woman who has pelvic issues typically sees anywhere between 5 to 7 doctors. When the woman sees the doctor, this is the people who actually seek women who actually seek help for their pelvic issues, leaking, prolapse, whatever, sexual pain, abdominal pain, endometriosis. 50% are dissatisfied with their care. They're so dissatisfied that 35% of them go online after they go see a doctor to figure out what's really going on. So what are we doing? We're going to Dr. Google. And we know that Dr. Google is very inaccurate, okay? Especially with all the censorship that's going on right now. So you get the medicine that you think you need, and it's not even well researched. So now what do we have to do? We have to take back control. Okay? Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for watching on the replay too. If you want this, go and hit the share button now so you have it on your timeline because I think you're gonna want to save this one. This one's gonna be a goodie. Okay. Now, it gets worse. Women make up 65% of the opiate prescription in the U.S. 65%. That's insane. Antidepressants use is twice as likely in women than men. So what's happening? Band-aids. That's what's happening. Band-aid solutions. That's what they're giving us. They're giving us antidepressants. They're giving us opiates. They're dismissing us. They're marginalizing us. They're telling us everything is in our head, but we know better because the divine feminine is waking up. The truth is right here, right now. It's percolating in each and one of us. And now with this whole thing going on in the world, and with women not being able to get what they need, it's going to become more and more difficult. So what do we have to do? We have to become our own healers. We have to start listening to our inner voices. We have to start to understand that there's a new game going on, and we have to figure out how are we going to do what? Navigate the new normal, because there's a whole new playing field. And if we thought we had everything figured out, which I thought I did until I saw my doctor, true thing, did a telehealth session, right? For whatever personal problem. He's talking at me the entire time through Zoom, right? We're not in collaboration. We're not doing this together, right? And I'm sitting there going, wow, it hasn't changed. Here I am needing help, and someone is telling me what is right for me and what I need to do for my own body. And I was like, you know what? No. I said, no. I said, we need to start this conversation over again. And so today I'm going to tell you how you can get your doctor to listen to you, because there are no coincidences that I do a telehealth session with my OBGYN, and all of a sudden here I am doing this on Facebook. The universe sends us messages. Sometimes very subtle messages where we listen to them, and sometimes messages where we get slapped in the face. And I got slapped in the face. Okay, so things really haven't changed that much. They really haven't. All right. So type in the word Doctor Show. You know how I like to give my free gifts. I'm sorry, Roadshow. Type in the word Roadshow to get this. Okay, this is yummy, 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 yummy. Okay. Now I'm gonna review this. So if you want to write down the tips, go ahead. But if you don't want to, you have it here. It's totally up to you how you want to interact with this show today. Okay. Now my name is Isa Herrera. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist. I'm an author of 5 books on the pelvic health. Right. But it's not about my accolades. It's not about what I've accomplished. Not so long ago, I was in the same position as everyone out there. Okay? 30 million women. suffering from pelvic floor dysfunction, 49% leaking on themselves, 50% of older women with prolapse. And you know what they give us? Continue the same thing, band aids. If you haven't seen my video, you should check it out. My first video, by the way, was I couldn't put it out there in the universe because Facebook told me that it wasn't appropriate for them. Right. So, but this one is a little bit more tame. So I think that this one is going to pass the mustard. Okay. So make sure that you go. I'm running a contest where you watch the videos and you get to win me or my coaches. So that's one thing that I want to announce. Now, I believe that you're the captain of your own boat, that you own this experience, that you are the one that everyone in your team, whether it's functional medicine, whether whatever it is, because we all have big teams that take care of us, you navigate the boat. You have to listen to your inner voice and you have to trust yourself. But you also have to do what? You also have to assert yourself and be like, okay, this is what I need. How do you do that? Okay, couple of steps. This step is not in the checklist, but I want to give you the step anyway. It's in my latest blog. So if you haven't been to my website, pelvicpainrelief.com, go check it out. I give a lot of information out there. Okay, so just check it out. We have to know our own anatomy. You cannot be on the same level with someone, power, because this is all a power struggle. Okay, if you go in there and you're here and they're here, your knowledge and your birthright as a woman is to know your divine anatomy. Okay, I cover those in my online program, so check them out if you want. Okay, now once you know your own divine anatomy, you actually know what's going on. Whether you're seeing a physical therapist, whether you're seeing a personal trainer, whether you're seeing a functional medicine, whomever, what happens? You come from a really deep place of understanding, and when you come from this place of understanding, no one can pull the wool over your eyes, giving you crap like injections into your vagina. Okay, off-color medications that are experimental, whose side effects are so horrible that we have to be dealing with them, or worse, they send you on your way and they consider you hysterical, right? And by the way, it still goes on. I want you to, everybody here, tell me if this has ever happened to you, because I know that we are in this together, and I know that we're going to rise together. And my job is to be able to help as many as possible. As you know, my mission is to help 1 million women heal from pelvic floor dysfunction. And this is one of the ways that I can do it. So I appreciate everybody watching on the replay. I appreciate everyone sharing this with their girlfriends because the time is now. There is no better time in history to come into alignment with what it is that we need from the medical establishment, because if we don't do that, we are going to be, they're going to shove everything down our throats. Now, I don't think anybody wants that, and I don't want that for anyone here. And by the way, if you're on Instagram, I put the 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 checklist in the link to make it easier, right? Because then it becomes more complex. So here it goes. Now, tip number one, I already told you, you must know your anatomy. Knowledge is power. Okay? How many women come to me and they don't even know their own anatomy? It's absolutely, and you know why? Because it's been held back from us. Because if we knew our anatomy, if we knew how to care for ourselves, we would not be given band aid solutions that don't work, are costly, and leave us with an infection of hopelessness. Because that's what happens, an infection of hopelessness. And we're already infected with hopelessness right now, and anxiety and stress. So the moment is now to do what? Rise up and say, I'm not going to take this anymore. And this is how you're going to do it. Okay. One, be careful with the white coat syndrome. Okay. So I get in my telehealth session. I can't even make this up. I wish I could make this up. I can't even make this up. He has the white coat on. I mean, it's telehealth. What the hell are you doing? You're sitting in your house. Okay. And by the way, if you want coaching, know that I have a bunch of coaches that can help you. Okay, we'll put that link up so you can have more power, because my coaches help what? Awaken the doctor within you, right? So I get on my telehealth This is funny. I get on my telehealth session, right, thinking, oh shoot, I just need a refill. I don't need a lot, right? Hormones for my vagina. He gets on the call with his white coat. I'm thinking, there it is. There it is. I cannot make this up. I wish I could make this up. There it is. The power of the white coat. Now, this is interesting. When women see the white coat, you know what happens? Their blood pressure goes up. And this has been documented, and this is called the white coat syndrome, right? We get nervous. We're put on the defensive. We start to think that there's somebody one up on us, and we lose our trust in ourselves. And that's why when I see that white coat, I know that I'm doing what? I'm going into battle for my soul. I'm going into battle for my body. I'm going into battle for my rights as a woman, because that's how they take advantage. It's psychological. Okay. How many of you guys have seen the white coat and all of a sudden be like, whoa, they must know more than us? But guess what? The average doctor is not trained in pelvic floor therapy. They're not trained in knowing what's going on with your lady parts, or even trained to see if you ever have a diastasis recti separation, which is part of the mummy tummy and prolapses and back pain. And so these are all the things that I teach in my programs. Okay. So I think this is something that you should explore. So now, many women, because of this white coat, and I'm reading my notes, trust their doctors. So what does the doctor do as soon as we go in? You'd be lucky if they listen to your symptoms, but they are quick to do what? Prescribe two things: antidepressants, painkillers. What happens with these dirty drugs? It creates more havoc on our bodies, and it creates a situation where we can become addicted, which is really sad. Because one thing that we know is that our beautiful bodies, our queendoms, do what? They respond to natural medicine, holistic medicine, lifestyle medicine, food as nutrition. That should be the first line of defense. Not tell me to put a Botox injection into my vaginal walls, or give me a prescription that's going to make me addicted, right? Or worse, give me a prescription that doesn't let me think for myself, right? So this is the situation that we find ourselves in, right? So when you are at your doctor's office, one of the things that I do is I puff up my chest. It's like, yeah, that's right. Resilient woman rise. I puff up my chest. Because if you sit like this, which the most of us do, right? Because we're in the situation right now where we're being even marginalized more with the current events. So I puff up my chest. I puff up my chest. I come prepared with my line of questioning. Type in the word roadshow if you want my free checklist. Okay, this is in the checklist. And I ask them, what other things can you offer me besides drugs, besides invasive therapies? And I listen. And if I get one little thing inside my system that says, this individual is not right for me, I do not swallow my intuition. And I don't recommend you do it either, because your intuition does what? Warns you, tells you. And we know that in order to come into rightful alignment with our queendom, in order to come into rightful alignment and reclaim our pelvic floor, we have to heal our bodies. Everything starts with this beauty. And everything starts with, I'm going to whip out my model with this. Because this right here is connected to everything, even to your spirit and even to your soul. And when women don't feel right here, it drops us into feeling less than, feeling broken, feeling less loved. But here's the truth that your doctor may not tell you: you have power over your lady parts. You can heal your lady parts with simple things like meditation, exercise, yoga. you know, Kegels, on Kegels, reverse Kegels. All of this I put in my programs because my job is to help yourself, right? If you're picking up what I'm dropping down, give me a little heart. I love when I see the hearts. It's like Pavlok for me, right? It keeps me going. Okay. Now, that's the first thing. Be aware of the white coat effect. Okay, now step number two, be a client, not a patient. What do I mean by that? How many of us feel like, oh, our insurance is paying for this, so we don't really have a say in what we want, or, you know, or we start to think that the doctor knows best, and maybe some of them do, but it has to feel right for you too. If it doesn't feel right for you to start to be a client, I want you to stop thinking of yourself as a patient when you enter the doctor's office or you are in a telehealth session. I don't want you to sit back and be like, oh, oh, he knows everything. No, I want you to know that you're paying for services, services that are going to make you better, services that are going to help you heal. Because when you come across the right individual, the right physician, the right healer, it can awaken you into incredible beauty, and it can give you back your life, and it can end your suffering. But you have to make sure that you're doing your part, right? Because this is like a tango. It takes two of us to dance. And if you go in there and you put yourself in a position of like the patient, they're going to win because they have the white coat. Your mindset is already in a mindset that's passive. Okay. You go in there and you say, I'm the client, I'm paying for these services, even if your insurance is paying for them, right? And our words, thank you, Rhonda, our words do have power. So I puff up my chest and I go into an alter ego, which my teacher, Todd Herman, told me all about. And I become a different person when I'm in the doctor's room. I don't become the person that was injured, the person who suffered for many years after I had my baby, the person who got on the Doctor Roadshow and spent over, I don't know, 70,000, maybe even more dollars. I didn't know these techniques. I didn't know any of this. I step outside myself and I become the client. And when I become the client in a doctor situation, I change my name. I changed my name. I have an alter ego name that I use when I see doctors or when I go and I see somebody who is could potentially be in a position of more power over me. And then you step outside your suffering. You step outside all the issues, your pain, and you become an individual who can see better. And when you can see better and you can feel better, you're going to make better decisions. Otherwise, you're going to make really bad decisions that are going to come back and haunt you. I can't tell you how many women I have treated, thousands, who have gotten bladder surgeries, mesh surgeries, stim put into their sacrum, hysterectomies that they didn't need, laparoscopic surgeries for explore. Because when we went in there, we said, we're the patient, we're not the client. You switch the power roles. And yeah, this is about power. I don't care what anybody says. I've been in this industry for over 20 years and I know what happens. And by the way, I used to go to doctor's office with many of my patients when I had my big Madison Avenue practice here in New York City. I did that for two reasons. One, to market, but the other one, because a lot of my patients, believe it or not, were really afraid to go see their doctor and to say no. And so all of a sudden they come back and they say, oh, I just got an injection into my sit bone. I'm like, well, what did they inject into your sit bone? Oh, I don't know. Okay, come on. Somebody's going to inject something into your sit bone or into your scar, hysterectomy scar, or cesarean scar, or worse, into your pelvic floor, and you're not going to ask what it is? You're not going to say, is there an alternative to this? Can I get a referral to a natural practitioner? That's when I started to look at this struggle. with what happens to women when they see their doctor. Now, I think maybe it could change a little bit because now we have telehealth. So I don't know. It didn't change for me that much. I had to get all crazy on this doctor. Okay. Now, step three. Let's go to step three. This is the last, the last step here. Now, if you want something, what do you have to do? Are things going to change when you just sit there and be like, oh, I want something, I want this, and it's just going to come my way, and I'm going to manifest, and I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to visualize, and I'm just going to send the energy out there, and it's all going to come to me? Well, you know what? No, it's not. That's not the way the world works. Yes, of course, visualization, manifestation, thinking, all that is part of what I teach, but you got to take action on whatever it is that you need to do to get better. Manifestation and visualization is not, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So what do you have to do? You have to demand, you have to become the client, and then you have to demand better or equal treatment. Like this doctor will not go to his doctor and allow his doctor to treat him that way. And yet what happens? Right? Yeah, I'll post the steps. Can you post the steps, please? Um, Type in the word roadshow. I'm going to give you this. You're going to have it in your messenger. You could just opt in for it and download it. This works too, okay? So I digress, as I always do, okay? Bear with me because you know I get passionate about this. My favorite topic is the Doctor Roadshow. It's something that I've seen, in my center in New York City, we had over 52,000 women come through. But how do I know? Because I actually counted all of them, okay? Come through our doors in 12 years. And I decided that I wanted to pivot my practice to come online because I wanted to help more women. Because I was so sick and tired of what I was watching in the pelvic floor industry, in the women's health industry. And by the way, there's another war going on with that, okay? In this industry, when women did not know what to do and they found themselves behind the eight ball, and it's not our fault because there's no one out there who actually teaches these kind of things, who says, how do you level up so that you are in, so that you're like right here equal with your physician, and the physician is not one over you. Because forever, Western medicine has been one over the person, top down, telling us what to do, telling us what to take, right? And what do? We trust because we trust that doctors are going to do the right thing for us. But that's not the case anymore. As a woman, and I encourage everyone here, thank you so much. We have hundreds of women here today, and we have a lot of women on Instagram as well, and then we'll post this later. Thank you for watching, everyone. Um, if you want the checklist, drop in the word roadshow, and I'll get that to you. The most important thing that we can do as women is really start to understand that there is no magic bullet. Every time we think there's a freaking magic bullet that's going to come in and save us is when we get burnt over and over again. And then you know what happens? We get infected with hopelessness. That's what happens when there's gimmicks that don't work. And we try them for whatever reason. Maybe they're cheaper. Maybe you feel like that's going to happen. But let me tell you something, the only way to really heal your body, your pelvic floor, get rid of your back pain, your hip pain, your groin pain, whatever you're leaking, is to actually do the work. Because there is no magic bullet. And you know who's going to offer you a magic bullet? Your doctor. And you're going to be desperate. I was desperate. I was so desperate. You have no idea how desperate I was. I did a lot of desperate things. I really did. Because I was suffering a lot. And I didn't know. This all came out of my own dark night of the soul, right? But now I know better. And when I know better, thank you, Rhonda. Thank you for being here. because I know better, I have to share this information because it wouldn't be right. And that's why I do my pelvic power hour every Friday at 1 p.m. Okay, unless something comes up and I can't be here, but you know I'm always here, like a religion, um, because it's my duty as a pelvic healer to bring the truth. Now, sometimes when I bring the truth, people don't like it. They get upset, and that's okay. No one has to like my everybody doesn't have to like my message. Nobody has you don't have to agree with me. All I want to do is spark something within you so that you have the confidence to do what it is that you need to do to awaken your inner healer so that you know that you matter, so that you know that you got power, so that you know that you must listen to your inner wisdom because it doesn't lie to you. It's never lied to you. Okay, here's this is from Libby. I went to a GYN almost a year. Intuition is so crucial. I felt I had cancer, but trusted the doctor would do the right thing. After he insulted me, I got so angry I went to a previous doctor who was 10 hours away. He did take care of me. Yes, I did have cancer. Listen to your intuition. You see what Libby is saying? You can't make this up. Thank you, Libby, for sharing that because when we share, when we stick together as women, when we bring it for each other, and when the men in our lives support us, because I see some men here on Instagram, then what happens? Then we all rise together as a collective. And eventually, that's what we want. We want to have medical freedom. We want to be able to make our own choices. But if you don't know how to advocate for yourself, if you don't know your own anatomy, if you don't know how to take care of your own body, if you're not listening to your intuition, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to go down the rabbit hole. You're going to go down the rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland. You can get stuck in the dark tunnel. And there is no light at the end. There's only suffering because you didn't listen. Oh, lose 100%. Oh, lose 100% partnership. I love when our coaching clients tell me exactly what they need. Luz is part of my coaching program. And by the way, she is primo. So if you want to get a telecoaching and you want to get things done the right way, and someone who's going to guide you and someone's going to help you awaken your inner healer, then definitely go to this link. It's in the thing. Um, because what's going to happen is that more now than ever, we need people on our side who going to have our best interests because big pharma is in the pocket of big pharma, right? Some doctors are in the pocket of big pharma, or they're just doing what they've been taught in medical school, which is not much. I went to medical school, so I have an opinion about medical school as well. Okay. Um, so these are the different things that I want to bring awareness to because right now, you know, yeah, and the last step that I want to talk about is the most important step. This was the step that I figured out at the end after I had been through all my rabbit hole things. $70,000 down the drain. Okay, experimented on me. This is what Western medicine did to me. It was appalling what happened. You have to be able to do what? Say no. Say no. When you say no to someone who's offering you something that you feel is not appropriate for you, you're saying yes to your life. You're saying yes to your divinity. You're saying yes to your power. You're saying yes to self love. You are reclaiming your health. Now, saying no can be difficult when they have the white coat on and you're desperate and you're in pain and you just want that magic bullet prescription that's going to take it all away. But guess what? Maybe we need to reframe suffering. Maybe when we suffer, there within our suffering, within the dark night of the soul, lies the opportunity to figure out what's actually going on. What's at the bottom of this? Why do I have this symptoms? Ask why. And then you realize that saying no was a good thing. Because when we have women making up 65% of the opiate prescriptions in the US, that's a problem. Okay? That's a problem. Yes, our doctors know allopathic medicine, not naturopathic. 100% Rhonda, 100%. Thank you for putting that up. When we have women twice as likely using antidepressants, why? Because they think we're hysterical. Oh, give her a pill, shut her up, right? Because that's what they want to do to the divine feminine. They want to squash us. But it's not possible because we know better. And all we have to do is trust the messages of our bodies, the messages that we're getting. Okay, so now let's review these steps. One, be aware of the white coat effect. Numero uno. Okay, sometimes I wear a white coat just to psych them out. I'll put a white coat when I go see them. Okay, number two, right? Be what? Be a client, not a patient. You switch, you go into the alter ego. Just right now, I want everybody to pick an alter ego name. Just pick a name. Any name that makes you feel like a goddess and a queen, makes you feel powerful. And then you become that person. You step outside your suffering so that you can see more clearly. Demand equal or better treatment. Don't just take the first thing they throw at you because they're gonna throw things at you. And say no. Saying no to something that doesn't feel right is a yes to yourself. It really is. And the other one that I want to discuss before I go is know the alternative medicine. There is medicine out there that works. I hate the word alternative because it's not really what it is. It's complementary, it's natural. And we know that programs like my program, the VQual Lift program, the Female Pelvic Alchemy program. By the way, I'm having a huge masterclass like I do every year in June. I'm working on it now. I'm going to send everybody an invite. And then, of course, I'm going to open up my Female Pelvic Alchemy program so you can work with me and my team. Okay, this is the program where I hold your hand all the way through it, baby. Okay, we're coaching. Now, what is alternative medicine? It's natural, it respects your inner ability to heal yourself. Our bodies always want to be in homeostasis. Our bodies always want to be in a state of extreme health. But what do we have to do? We have to give it what it wants. So we have to know what the alternative medicine is. What are the alternative therapies? And try to remain open. Try to remain open. That's all I ask, right? Integrative. Thank you, Linda. Integrative. I like that word. I like it because alternative makes it sound like, oh, put that thing on the side. It's alternative. Oh, it's alternative, right? Hogwash, hogwash. Okay? Our bodies respond to natural medicine, holistic medicine, lifestyle medicine, food as medicine, meditation as medicine, and all these things get incorporated into a pelvic floor program. And that's when you can heal faster and better. And when you know that there is no magic bullet, that it takes time and it takes work. And don't fall for gimmicks that promise you instant results. Like, it's not going to happen. You're going to be disappointed. And then you know what's going to happen? You're going to end up infected with hopelessness, which is where I see everywhere, every corner that I turn. It's absolutely insane what's going on right now in women's health, which is why Facebook wouldn't let me boost my my contest number one video. They said it was too political. How can something be political when the research is there and is backed up? That makes no sense to me. Okay. Modern medicine is alternative. Natural was here long before. That's right. If anything, modern medicine is alternative medicine. Oh, I love that. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for putting that up. Jaylene, I love that. So good. Linda, integrative. Amen. Lisa, Isa, love it. I want to receive her article regarding pelvic exercises about pelvic floor. Okay. You can always PM me or whatever. There's so many ways to get in contact with me that if you can't get in contact with me, it's because you're not trying hard enough. But I am more than happy to give whatever I can. As you know, I give a lot of free things away, and my masterclass is going to be primo. It's on fire. This year it's going to be on fire. I'm going to bring all new things. Right. Last year we had 50,000 women signed up for it. Okay, because this is the collective, and I love to do it during the summer because women can take better care of themselves in the summer. Things are even more laid back, and let's just hope that everything resolves before the summer ends. So I want to thank everyone here today, and I want to express my gratitude uh, for you, for believing in me, for trusting me, and I know that it's hard to navigate the medical system. I've been there, right? And I know it's hard to get your doctor to listen to you. The system is rigged against women. Do you have physical therapy? Do you have to be a physical therapist to take your classes? No, not at all. I have professional classes for physical therapists and doctors and midwives. Hopefully, the doctors start taking it because they really should. Then I have other classes for just women too. And then I have other classes for fitness trainers, Pilates trainers, yogis, um, massage therapists. Because why? Women need a collective team. And the more we are all educated, including the woman who's the center of everything, the more we can help the healing process go by faster. Okay. Now, you set the stage for your own health and you can bring about change. And I believe by taking the 5 actions in my checklist, they've worked before for many people, and I believe they will work for you. I am super excited. I'm trying to read everything. Oh, Mary, thank you. Isa's power. She gives me confidence that as these UTIs happen, that the urologist has given me a diagnosis that I can adapt Isa. Oh, that's beautiful. Adapt to Isa's program. I really love that. I really love when women they awaken the beast in themselves and they're like, yes, hear me raw. Ah! Why? Because that's how we're going to have power. That's how we're going to reclaim things. It's been taken away from us forever. But we have to put in the work. We have to be and if you haven't seen my other Facebooks, you should go and see them. I have a YouTube channel too. You can follow me on Instagram. I try to do a little bit everywhere, so there's different people that can get the information. But honestly, I really am 100% behind the divine feminine, and I will do everything in my power, everything in my power, everything in my soul, and everything in my spirit to help women, and no one is ever going to stop me. And no one is ever going to stop you too. But you got to decide. You got to decide. This is from Goose. My coaching client is taking your course and she's seeing great improvement. Oh, that's beautiful. I love when I get the feedback. I need feedback because when I get feedback, then I can make things better or I can change things. That's great. Thank you so much. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Oh, this is from Marita. Isa, you awakened me. The only one that can actually awaken, and I appreciate that confidence in me, but I really believe that you awaken yourself. That all I do is, and my coaches, we're here to guide you and to help you and to love you with compassion so that you can do what it is that's always been within you. All this has been within you all along, and we just forgot. And this is a remembrance. This is a reconnection, right? This is what this thing is all about. It's trying to wake us up. So what are we going to do? Are we going to stay asleep or are we going to wake up? The choice is yours. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you guys so much. I'm going to come back and answer questions, but I always go back and try to do as much as I can. Okay? And have a wonderful weekend. And I love you guys so much. Thank you, everyone.